Cancer, Spirit has been whispering to you louder than you realize. But there's a part of you that keeps brushing those whispers aside, maybe because they don't come in the form you expect. This reading is about the sign that keeps circling back into your life. The one you've been tempted to ignore, yet the one Spirit insists is guiding you forward. If you've been questioning what's real, what you can trust, and what it all means for the next chapter of your life, this is where clarity arrives. And before we begin, I want to remind you that if you need something more personal, I do offer private readings starting at $9, or you can join my monthly membership for $99 to receive unlimited sessions. Spirit never leaves you without guidance, and neither will I. The first card that rises for you is the Moon. This is such a direct reflection of the energy you've been sitting in: uncertainty, confusion, illusion, and sometimes even fear of your own intuition. The signs Spirit has been sending you are deeply connected to your dreams, your instincts, and those strange coincidences you can't quite explain. But instead of trusting them, you've been second-guessing yourself. The Moon tells me you've been caught between light and shadow, unable to decide whether what you're sensing is truth or just imagination. Spirit is saying very clearly, stop doubting your inner vision. The sign you've been receiving is real, and the reason it keeps repeating is because Spirit knows you'll only believe it once you surrender the need for logic. This card also suggests that some of the signs you've been receiving have stirred up hidden fears. The Moon shines a light on what's been buried, and that can feel unsettling. So, when Spirit sends you a dream that feels too vivid, or a moment of intuition that feels too strong, you might push it away because it forces you to face what you've been avoiding. The Moon says those signs are not here to scare you, they're here to reveal the truth that's been waiting to rise. And the truth is, you already know the next step. You just don't fully trust yourself to take it. Spirit keeps sending the sign until you claim that trust. On another level, the Moon shows that illusions from your past may be clouding your ability to read signs. Old wounds, betrayals, or times you felt misled may cause you to question whether Spirit is really speaking to you now. But the message is, this is different. The signs you're receiving now are not coming from confusion. They're coming from clarity disguised as mystery. They're not trying to deceive you. They're trying to pull you closer to your intuition. Every time you ignore them, you slip back into self-doubt. Spirit is asking you to recognize that your inner guidance has always been accurate, even when your fears tried to convince you otherwise. Finally, the Moon card reminds you that signs don't always arrive in the bright, obvious ways we want them to. Sometimes they come through shadow, through symbols that don't make immediate sense, through feelings that don't have words. The sign you've been ignoring is one that Spirit wants you to feel rather than analyze. Don't dismiss it because you can't explain it. The Moon is telling you your intuition is the sign. Trust the pull, even when the path ahead isn't fully lit. The second card that reveals itself is the Four of Cups. This speaks to the reason you've been ignoring signs. You're caught in a state of disconnection, maybe even emotional exhaustion. You've been so focused on what didn't work out in the past, or on what feels stagnant now, that you haven't noticed Spirit offering you something new. The Four of Cups is the image of someone staring at the ground, lost in thought, while a divine hand reaches out with a cup of fresh energy. That cup is the sign, the message, the opportunity, but your gaze is fixed elsewhere. This card tells me that Spirit has been sending you signals of renewal, but your heart has been too heavy to recognize them. Maybe you've been caught in cycles of overthinking, replaying past disappointments, or waiting for things to change without realizing the first step has already been placed in front of you. The Four of Cups is Spirit saying, lift your head. Stop dwelling on what's gone, because what's meant for you is already trying to enter your life. The sign you've been ignoring is the sign of new emotional energy, but you've been looking in the wrong direction. There's also a sense here that boredom or dissatisfaction has dulled your sensitivity. The Four of Cups often appears when life feels like it's at a standstill, and in that stillness, it's easy to overlook the subtle signs Spirit is sending. You might think it's just another coincidence, or it's nothing special, when in reality, that moment was Spirit tapping on your shoulder. Spirit is asking you to reawaken your sense of wonder. Not everything has to be a thunderbolt. Sometimes the sign is in the quiet nudge, the unexpected thought, the gentle shift in your emotions. And this card carries a final message. The reason Spirit keeps repeating the sign is because it knows you'll miss it if it only shows you once. You've been so deep in your inner world that the outer world's guidance hasn't fully landed. The Four of Cups says, Spirit is patient. It will keep offering the cup until you finally look up. The choice is yours, to stay in the loop of dissatisfaction or to recognize that the sign has already been delivered. The third card that comes through is the Tower. Cancer. This explains why you've been hesitant to acknowledge the signs. Deep down, you know that if you fully accept what Spirit is telling you, something in your life will have to change. And change at a level that feels uncomfortable, even disruptive. The Tower is the collapse of old foundations, the breaking apart of illusions, and the sudden release of anything that cannot support your growth. Spirit has been sending you warning signs and invitations to shift, but you've been resisting because you fear the fallout. The Tower energy is strong around you because Spirit is showing you cracks in the foundation of your current situation. The signs have been pointing out what isn't stable, whether that's a relationship, a belief system, a career path, or even the way you've been structuring your daily life. And while you may sense that collapse is coming, you've been trying to patch up the cracks instead of facing the truth. Spirit is saying, ignoring the signs won't stop the tower from falling. It only makes the fall more dramatic when it happens. At the same time, this card is not about destruction for its own sake. The tower appears because Spirit wants you to rebuild on stronger, more authentic ground. The signs you've been ignoring are not punishments, they're warnings and opportunities. They're telling you, this is no longer serving you. Let it go now so you don't have to watch it collapse later. Spirit is urging you to trust that while the process may feel painful, what comes after will bring greater freedom and alignment than you can imagine. The Tower also reminds you that ignoring signs often comes from fear of change, but Spirit only sends signs when change is necessary. You can resist the shift, or you can align with it, but either way, the change will come. The difference is whether you step into it with trust, or whether you cling so tightly that the release feels like a shock. Spirit's message is clear. The sign you've been ignoring is preparing you, not punishing you. The fourth card Spirit places for you is the Star. After the upheaval of the Tower, the Star arrives as reassurance, hope, and divine guidance. This is the sign you've secretly been craving, the promise that healing is possible, that peace will return, and that the future holds more than loss. Spirit has been sending you signs of renewal, but you've been so focused on the collapse that you've missed the light shining beyond it. The Star is that quiet moment when you feel a sudden calm in your spirit, the dream that feels like a message, the synchronicity that makes you smile even for a second. The Star tells you that the signs you've been ignoring aren't just warnings, they're promises. Spirit isn't only showing you what to leave behind, it's also showing you what you're moving toward. And what you're moving toward is healing, clarity, and a deeper connection to your true self. If you've been feeling lost, Spirit wants you to know that the Star is already guiding you home. The signs you've been receiving, whether it's a repeated number, a sudden sense of peace, or a moment of unexpected inspiration, are all confirmations that you're on the right path, even when it feels uncertain. This card also carries a message about vulnerability. The Star asks you to strip away pretense and allow yourself to be seen as you are. The signs you've been ignoring often point to the same thing. Stop hiding. Stop pretending. Stop carrying the weight of who you think you should be. Spirit wants you to stand in your truth, even if it feels raw. The signs are reminding you that authenticity is your healing. Finally, the star reassures you that the sign you've been ignoring is not just about endings, but about beginnings. Spirit is preparing to pour blessings into your life, but you have to create the space to receive them. The star says, don't be afraid to trust again. Don't be afraid to believe that after loss, renewal is possible. The signs are here to guide you into hope. The final card Spirit gives us is the Ace of Pentacles. Cancer. This is the seed Spirit has been waiting for you to notice. All of the signs you've been receiving are leading you here, to a new beginning, a new opportunity, something tangible and rooted in stability. The Ace of Pentacles is a gift of abundance, prosperity, and growth. Spirit has been placing opportunities in your path, but you've been so distracted by doubt or fear that you haven't fully claimed them. The sign you've been ignoring is the green light to step into a new chapter of your life. This card shows that Spirit is offering you a foundation to rebuild after the tower, and it's more solid than anything you've had before. The Ace of Pentacles often shows up as financial opportunities, career shifts, or new ventures, but it also represents a fresh start in your physical reality. Spirit has been guiding you to take a step that will secure your future, but you've been hesitant. The signs are telling you that it's time to plant this seed, to trust that what you build now will grow into something lasting. I also feel here that the signs around you have been very practical. They're not just about dreams and intuition. They've been about concrete steps, like a conversation that points you to a new path, an unexpected offer, or even repeated reminders of something you've been meaning to start. Spirit is saying, stop dismissing these as random. They are direct instructions to move forward. And the beauty of this card is that it confirms Spirit isn't leading you into uncertainty. It's leading you into growth. The Ace of Pentacles is your reminder that you're not losing, you're gaining. You're not being abandoned, you're being blessed. The sign you've been ignoring is your invitation to claim the abundance that's already reaching for you. Cancer, the message is clear. The signs you've been ignoring are not small. They are Spirit's way of steering you into the life you've been asking for. You don't need to search for more proof. The signs have already been delivered. It's time to acknowledge them, trust them, and act on them. Your affirmation is, I no longer ignore the signs Spirit sends me. I trust the guidance, I embrace the change, and I step into the blessings waiting for me.